The rain came down in thin, steady sheets as Maya ran up the school steps, her shoes slapping against the wet pavement. Her breath came fast, her bag slipping off her shoulder. She glanced at her phone, 38 minutes late. Again, she whispered to herself, "Please, not today," and pushed open the door to the empty hallway. The lights were dim, most classrooms already locked. Only one door at the end of the hall was open, room 204. Her heart ached just seeing the soft glow spilling out. She knew her daughter would be there, waiting. When she stepped inside, the smell of crayons and rain greeted her. Small paper butterflies dangled from the ceiling, and the clock ticked too loudly in the quiet. At one of the desks sat Lily, her tiny backpack hugged to her chest, legs swinging. Across from her sat Mrs. Collins, the first-grade teacher, reading from a book softly enough that her voice felt like a lullaby. Maya froze. She wanted to speak, but couldn't. Her throat burned with guilt. Lily's face lit up the moment she saw her. "Mommy." Maya dropped her bag and rushed forward, kneeling beside her. "Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. The bus broke down, and my boss wouldn't let me leave early and—" Mrs. Collins raised a hand gently. "It's okay, Maya. She's fine. We were just finishing a story." But Maya's voice cracked. "I keep doing this. I keep being late." Mrs. Collins smiled, the kind that reached her eyes. "And yet you keep coming. That matters more than you think." Maya blinked, not sure she'd heard right. The teacher closed the book and walked to her desk, speaking softly. "You'd be surprised how many parents don't come at all. Some send neighbors, some send drivers. You always come yourself, even if it's after a long day. Lily never doubts you'll show up. That's what she tells me every time." Maya's heart stuttered. "She says that?" Mrs. Collins nodded. "Every time. My mom's coming," she says. "She always comes. She doesn't count minutes. She counts promises kept." Maya felt the tears before she could stop them. "I just don't want her to think she's waiting because she's not important." Mrs. Collins' voice softened further. "She doesn't think that. She thinks she's lucky. She tells everyone her mom works hard because she loves her that much." The words hit like sunlight breaking through clouds she didn't know she'd been standing under. Maya turned toward her daughter, who was zipping up her little bag with complete calm, humming to herself. "See, Mommy," Lily said cheerfully. "You made it before the janitor turned off the lights. I told Mrs. Collins you always make it." Maya laughed through tears and kissed her daughter's forehead. "You're too forgiving." Mrs. Collins chuckled softly. "She's just learning from you." As they walked out together, the hallway lights flickered off behind them one by one, leaving only the soft glow from the exit sign. Outside, the rain had stopped, leaving the world smelling clean again. They walked toward the car, Lily skipping puddles. "Can we still get ice cream?" she asked. Maya hesitated. "It's late, baby. You've got school tomorrow." "But you had a hard day," Lily said innocently. "Ice cream helps hard days." Maya laughed. "You make a good point." So they stopped at the corner shop, 2 cones under the buzzing neon sign. The woman behind the counter smiled at them. "Rough day." Maya glanced at her daughter, who was already licking her chocolate scoop with both hands. "Long," she said, "but maybe the best kind." That night, after Lily fell asleep, Maya sat on the edge of the bed, brushing a strand of hair from her daughter's face. The teacher's words echoed in her mind. She doesn't count minutes. She counts promises kept. She realized then that love wasn't always about being perfect. It was about showing up, tired, messy, late, but showing up anyway. The next morning, she left work early, just once, and waited by the school gate before the bell rang. When Lily came out and saw her standing there first, her eyes widened in surprise. "Mommy, you beat me." Maya laughed, crouching to hug her tight. "Told you I could do it." Lily giggled into her shoulder. "See? You always come." And as Maya held her close, under the soft golden light of afternoon, she finally believed it. She wasn't failing. She was building a memory her daughter would carry forever. The next morning started brighter than usual. The air outside smelled of wet earth and sunlight, and when Maya poured her coffee, it didn't taste like exhaustion for once. It tasted like peace. Lily sat at the table humming, her curls bouncing as she ate her cereal. She had drawn something on the back of a napkin, and when Maya leaned over, she saw a stick figure of a woman with messy hair, holding an umbrella over a tiny girl. Above it, in big, crooked letters, it said, "My mom always comes." Maya froze for a second, her throat tightening again. "You drew this for me?" Lily grinned. Mrs. Collins said we should make a picture about someone who keeps their promises. I picked you. Maya blinked hard, trying not to cry before work. That's beautiful, baby. Can I keep it? Only if you hang it where you can see it every day, Lily said seriously. She did. She taped it right above the kitchen counter, where she'd see it every morning before leaving for work and every night before bed. Later that afternoon, when Maya went to pick Lily up, she got there early. She parked under the big oak tree near the school gate and watched as kids spilled out laughing. Lily's face lit up when she saw her mother already waiting. You beat me again, she shouted, running into her arms. I told you I'd try, Maya said, spinning her once in the air. Mrs. Collins was standing by the door, smiling. You made it early today, she said teasingly. Maya laughed, slightly embarrassed. Trying to make up for all the times I didn't. The teacher's smile softened. You don't have to. She already knows you're her safe place. Something in those words landed deep. Maya hesitated. Can I ask you something? Of course. Why were you so kind that day? You could have just called the office to watch her. Mrs. Collins looked out at the playground before answering. Because I was her once. My mom worked 2 jobs, and I was always the last one sitting here. I used to tell myself, she'll come. She always does. So when I see a child waiting, I sit with them. It's my way of saying I understand. Maya felt her chest tighten. I wish every teacher was like you. Mrs. Collins smiled faintly. If every parent loved like you, they would be. That night, Maya couldn't stop thinking about that conversation. She stood by Lily's door, watching her sleep. The small lamp painted the room in gold, and the napkin drawing, now framed, sat on the bedside table. Her daughter's soft breathing filled the room like a lullaby. Maya whispered, You'll never have to wonder if I'll come, my love. Weeks passed, and life slowly fell into rhythm. She still ran late some days, but it no longer crushed her with guilt. She carried Mrs. Collins' words with her like armor. She doesn't count minutes. She counts promises kept. One Friday, she found an envelope in Lily's backpack. It was from Mrs. Collins. Inside was a single sheet of paper and a photo. In the photo, Lily was standing in front of her class, holding up a poster that read, My mom always comes. Around her were other children holding their own drawings, each one about someone who showed up for them. At the bottom of the letter, Mrs. Collins had written, We're starting a new project called Always Comes. It's about the people in our lives who show up when it matters. Lily said it was your idea. Maya smiled through her tears. Of course she did. When she picked Lily up that day, her daughter ran to her with the biggest grin. Mommy, we're going to have an open day next week, and you have to come see all the drawings. Maya bent down, brushing hair from her forehead. I wouldn't miss it for the world. The following Friday, the classroom was full of parents, laughter, and the smell of crayons. The walls were lined with dozens of pictures, moms, dads, grandparents, neighbors, even bus drivers. And right in the middle was Lily's drawing, framed with pink paper hearts. Mrs. Collins tapped the microphone and said, These drawings remind us of one truth. Love isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up. She smiled at Maya across the crowd. Some people wait hours, but what children remember isn't the wait. It's who they were waiting for. After the event, Maya knelt beside her daughter's desk. You proud of yourself, my little artist? Lily nodded. I'm proud of us. And as they left the school that afternoon, hand in hand, the world felt lighter. The rain that had once made her run late now fell softly on their shoulders like an old friend. Maya smiled, thinking how strange life was, that the moments she thought made her a bad mother had turned into the memories her daughter would cherish most. Because sometimes love doesn't arrive on time. It simply arrives, tired, soaked, out of breath, but still there. Winter came quietly, wrapping the town in pale skies and the smell of pine. The trees near the school lost their leaves, and the mornings turned colder, but every day still ended the same. Maya rushing through the gate, hair messy, heart pounding, only to find Lily waiting with a smile that never faded. No matter how late she was, that smile made it all worth it. One snowy afternoon, Maya's boss announced extra shifts before the holidays. Rent was due, bills were high, and she didn't have the luxury to say no. That week, the clock became her enemy again. She missed the first bell, then the second, then the aftercare pickup. When she finally reached the school, the sky had already turned violet, and snowflakes swirled under the streetlights. Lily sat near the window, sketching quietly, while Mrs. Collins graded papers beside her. Maya burst through the door, breathless. "I'm so sorry again. It's been—" But Mrs. Collins interrupted softly. "You're here." The two words hit harder than anything else. She took a step forward, her voice trembling. "You don't understand. I keep failing at this. Every day I tell myself I'll be on time, and every day something happens." Mrs. Collins set her pen down. "Do you see your daughter right now?" Maya turned. Lily looked up from her drawing and beamed. "She's happy," Mrs. Collins said. "She's warm. She's loved. You think you're failing because you're late. But that little girl doesn't see your lateness. She sees your return." Maya covered her face with her hands, tears burning her eyes. "It just hurts. I want to be better." The teacher's voice was kind but steady. "You already are. The ones who show up tired, worried, even broken, they're the ones who teach their children what love really means." Lily ran up and hugged her mom's legs, whispering, "It's okay, Mommy. I knew you'd come." That night, when they got home, Maya made hot cocoa and pulled her daughter into her lap. Snow brushed the window softly. "You know, Lily," she said, "sometimes grown-ups worry too much about clocks. Maybe the heart has its own time." Lily nodded sleepily. "Like story time." Maya laughed. "Exactly like story time." Over the next few weeks, she found herself slowing down, not in speed, but in spirit. Even when she couldn't beat the traffic or the deadlines, she learned to breathe, to let the guilt melt away like the snow on her windshield. Then one morning, everything changed again. Mrs. Collins called her at work. "Maya, can you come to the school this afternoon? It's nothing bad, I promise. Just something you should see." When she arrived, she found the auditorium filled with handmade posters and colorful decorations. The children were gathered on stage, dressed in scarves and mittens. A large banner hung across the back wall in uneven letters. "The Always Comes Assembly." Maya stood frozen as Mrs. Collins guided her forward. They wanted to celebrate the people who show up, no matter what. Lily had the idea. Her heart began to race. Lily stepped to the microphone, holding a small piece of paper with crayon scribbles. "This is for my mom," she said, her voice soft but sure. "She's late a lot, but she always comes. Even when she's tired, even when it's snowing, even when everyone else leaves, she still comes. She says love has its own time, and I think she's right. Because love is never late." The room went silent. Some parents wiped tears, teachers smiled, and Maya pressed a hand to her chest. The breath knocked right out of her. After the applause, Lily ran into her arms. "Did you like it?" Maya could barely speak. "More than anything in the world." Mrs. Collins came over, placing a small card in Maya's hand. It was written by the children, covered in fingerprints and glitter. "Thank you to the moms and dads who always come, even when it's hard." Maya looked down at her daughter, at the proud smile on her tiny face, and realized she didn't need to chase perfection anymore. Her daughter didn't love her for being on time. She loved her for never giving up. That night, they walked home under the quiet snow, the world glowing softly around them. Lily's hand was small in hers, but her heart felt enormous, steady, and full. When they reached their apartment, Maya hung the glittery card on the wall right next to the old drawing of the woman with the umbrella. Two memories, side by side. Proof that even the tired, messy, late kind of love could build something timeless. As she tucked Lily into bed, her daughter murmured drowsily, "You'll come tomorrow, right?" Maya kissed her forehead. "Always." And for the first time, she truly believed that being there, even after the world said she was late, meant she was right on time. The days began to lengthen, and spring returned quietly, bringing the sound of birds through the open window each morning. Maya still woke before sunrise, but something inside her had changed. The panic she used to feel when glancing at the clock was gone. She moved with calm now, humming softly while making breakfast. On the fridge hung two things she saw every day before leaving: the glittery card from the Always Comes Assembly and Lily's first drawing of the woman with the umbrella. They were reminders of how far they'd come. That morning, as they walked to school hand in hand, Lily swung her backpack playfully and said, "Mrs. Collins told us we're getting new students today. Maybe they'll sit next to me." Maya smiled. "I'm sure they'll be lucky if they do." After work that day, she decided to surprise Lily early. She left on time, no buses broken down, no boss calling her back. When she reached the school, She saw parents already lined up, and the air smelled of spring rain again. For once, she didn't feel like the mother running to catch her child. She felt like the one who was already waiting. But as she reached the door, she stopped. Through the glass, she saw Lily sitting next to a small boy she didn't recognize. He was crying quietly, clutching a lunchbox to his chest. Lily was talking to him softly, handing him one of her cookies. Maya stood there watching, her heart full. When Lily spotted her, she waved and called out, "Mommy, this is Jacob. It's his first day, and his mom couldn't come yet, so I waited with him." The boy looked up shyly, his tear-streaked cheeks softening. Maya knelt beside them. "That's very kind of you, sweetheart." Lily smiled. "I just remembered what you said. Love has its own time." The teacher, Mrs. Collins, appeared at the door and chuckled quietly. "Looks like your daughter's been passing your lessons on, Maya." Later, as they walked home, Maya asked gently, "Was Jacob okay?" Lily nodded. "He said his mom had to work late, but I told him that doesn't mean she forgot. I told him she always comes, even if she's a little late." Maya couldn't speak for a moment. Her throat felt full. "You said that?" "Of course," Lily said matter-of-factly. "It's true." That night, as Maya tucked her into bed, Lily reached out and held her hand. "Mommy." "Yes, baby. When I'm big, I want to be like Mrs. Collins. I want to wait with the kids whose moms have to work late. I'll tell them stories like she told me." Tears filled Maya's eyes as she whispered, "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard." Lily smiled sleepily. "You think she'll be proud of me?" "She already is. We both are." After she fell asleep, Maya sat quietly by the window, watching the city lights shimmer like tiny fires in the distance. She thought about the long road they had traveled, every late arrival, every apology, every quiet hug in dim hallways. They had once felt like failures, but now she saw them differently. They were proof of endurance, of love that showed up even when the world made it hard. The next morning, Lily woke early, excited for school. She put on her little jacket and slipped her old umbrella into her backpack, the one from the drawing she'd made months ago. "In case it rains," she said. When Maya arrived at pickup later that afternoon, it was pouring. Parents huddled under awnings, kids splashed through puddles. But through the blur of rain, she spotted a small figure standing by the gate. Lily, holding her umbrella over Jacob's head while her own hair got soaked. Maya ran to them. "Sweetheart, you'll catch a cold." Lily shrugged. "He forgot his umbrella, Mommy. I didn't want him to wait alone." The teacher, watching from the doorway, smiled quietly. "Looks like kindness runs in the family." Maya bent down, brushing wet strands from her daughter's face. "You're going to change the world someday, you know that?" Lily grinned. "Maybe, but I'll start with the rainy days." That evening, after dinner, Maya found another note tucked in her bag. It was written in Mrs. Collins' handwriting. "Your daughter waited for another child today until his mother arrived. When she came, she burst into tears and said, 'I thought he'd be scared waiting alone.' Lily just smiled and said, 'No one waits alone anymore. You've raised a remarkable girl.'" Maya read it twice, then placed it on the fridge beside all the others. The rain outside kept falling, gentle and endless, like time itself whispering that love always finds its way. Years later, when Lily was grown, she became a teacher too. And every time a small child sat waiting by a window for a parent who was running late, she would sit beside them, read a story, and whisper, "Don't worry, they'll come." Love is never late. Because some lessons never fade. They ripple through time, through hearts, through generations. And that's how one tired mother, who thought she was always late, unknowingly taught the world that showing up is the greatest kind of love. If this story made you smile, share it with someone who needs a reminder that accidents can turn into beautiful beginnings.